Is your business highly seasonal? Would you like to learn how to navigate those slow times with ease? Join me as I show you how I handle inconsistent and seasonal income. Hi, my name is Lucas, and I love to help business owners and creatives improve their finances. In my early 30s, I opened up a photo business in a highly seasonal mountain town. In the summer and winter, money would pour in, but in the spring and fall, it would completely dry up. When the money was good, I was able to add to my savings and get ahead. But when the off seasons would hit, I'd deplete my savings and often borrow on credit just to get by. I was up and then I was down, but all I wanted was some financial stability. I wasn't really sure how to make that happen, so I pulled back on my spending, I tried to force myself to budget, and I got a few side gigs, but I was barely making it through the off seasons. After a few years, I realized that it had less to do with the amount of money I was making and more to do with how I was handling that money. And that's when I had to get brutally honest with myself. There were several things that I was doing that were keeping me in the paycheck to paycheck cycle, and I didn't fix them because I didn't know how. And so I just kind of ignored them. Let's see if any of them sound familiar to you. In the high seasons, money would pour in, but I wasn't taking advantage of that. In fact, I was spending it all like some wannabe big shot. Every off season, I had some large expenses, taxes in the spring and holiday expenses at the end of fall, but I wasn't doing anything to prepare for those. I was pretty laid back with my invoicing, so I'd often wait weeks and months to get paid. Plus, I wasn't collecting deposits from people up front, which hurt my cash flow. My business and personal finances were a confusing, disorganized mess, so I avoided them. And on top of all of that, I knew budgeting could help, but I couldn't stick with it. So instead of coming up with my own plan, I struggled. Any of those sound familiar? Or maybe you have your own version. Let's find out. The first thing is to get clear on all of the financial patterns that you're experiencing in your business and personal life. So let me give you a few examples. The majority of my income flows during the winter and summer months and dries up during the spring and fall. That means that I need to stockpile as much cash as I can when the money is flowing so that I'm prepared for the slow times. For me, payroll is a big expense in the summer. The holidays are always expensive and taxes are due in spring. So as long as I prepare for these large expenses, I'm less likely to deplete my savings or borrow on credit. And the majority of my bookings are 3 to 6 months out. So as long as I require a 50% deposit up front, what I'm doing is spreading the money out and protecting myself in case there's cancellations. So now it's your turn. Does holiday spending or the cost of vacations throw you off? How many weeks or months do you go without income? When are people booking? Meaning, when is most of the money coming in? What other large expenses do you have throughout the year? Taxes, payroll? A lot of my interior designer clients pay for their clients' furniture up front and then get reimbursed later. Real estate agents often have to put out a lot of money for marketing up front. The goal is to identify all of the nuances and financial patterns in your business and personal life. Then we'll use this info to identify your financial leaks. Most people think that more money will fix their finances, so they get second and third jobs. That's exactly what I did. But what they don't realize is that their financial bucket is full of holes. So it doesn't matter how much money you pour into it because it just leaks right back out. If you'd like to coast through the off seasons with ease, plug your financial leaks. So what's a financial leak? Not having a contract, not getting the contract signed immediately, not requiring a deposit, not collecting the deposit immediately, not preparing for the slow times, avoiding your finances because they're a confusing mess, making it difficult for clients to pay you, forgetting to send payment requests, doing work for the client when they haven't paid, not having a plan for your money and no accountability for your spending, chasing clients for money. The list goes on and on. Most people struggle with several of these at the same time. So I'll say it again. You do not have to hustle for more money. All you have to do is identify and plug your financial leaks. By capturing more of your hard-earned money, it'll be easier to build emergency funds, to grow your savings, and to be prepared for the slow times. If you're ready to identify your financial leaks, start with the list that I just gave you. Then check out my YouTube videos when you're ready to plug those financial leaks. I walk you through several of them and I show you step by step how to do that. Start with these two. And if you'd like a more personalized approach, consider the Big Split Bootcamp. For 1 week, it's just you, me, and your finances over several private sessions. We'll get in there, we'll simplify and organize everything, we'll get rid of credit cards and bank accounts you don't need, we'll identify and plug your financial leaks, and by the end of the week, you'll have learned how to radically transform your finances. Plus, for the next year, we'll remain in contact so that when life throws you some financial curveballs, I'll be there to help guide you through. Comment the Big Split and I'll send you an application. If we're a good fit, the first session is on me with no obligation to buy. So the second step is to identify and then plug your financial leaks. When you do, you'll capture more of your hard-earned income and you're actually learning how to manage your finances as you go. The third thing I did to balance out seasonal income was to build a surplus in my accounts. So I created a very simple system so that when money is pouring in, I was building a stockpile and preparing for the slow times. I walk you through the entire tutorial in this video, but the gist of it is this. When the money comes in, you build up stockpiles. So you spread it out. You send a little to each one of your responsibilities and your financial goals. For example, every time I receive money, I send some to my savings, some to my business accounts, some to my personal expenses, and some towards my taxes. When you do this every time you receive money, your balances grow, and over time, a surplus grows in each one of your accounts. Now, this technique is a large part of the Big Split method, and it's how all of my clients get through the slow times with ease. If you're tired of the off-season lows and saying no to vacations because you can't afford it, there's a better way to do your finances. First, identify your financial patterns. Then, plug your financial leaks and capture more of your income. And third, build stockpiles in each of your accounts so you're prepared for the slow times. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. It means the world to me. And if you know anyone else out there that is struggling with seasonal income or struggling with budgeting, or they just go long periods of time without getting paid and they don't know how to handle that, please share this video with them. As always, thank you for your time and energy, and I'll see you in the next one.